Hey, how's it going, YouTube? How y'all doing today? Ran out of grain this morning, so these animals kind of got just like a very limited amount of feed, but it's okay. I'll give them some extra tonight. They're growing in pretty good. This is Princess right here. This is my processor calf. She getting real big, but the other cattle getting real big too. He getting real big. I just need those 2 months on these cattle. I'm starting to realize that these cattle, I got about a handful of animals with some real kind of muddy butts. They got the diarrhea, the spurting. And there's about a handful of them. Like there's one who's doing it a little bit. There's one who's doing a little bit. She doing it pretty good right there. This one too. And I think that is, well, I think it's more to do with because the grass is just a little bit too much. It has just a little bit too much water in it. I think the grass right now, after all that rain, these cattle have been chewing on that grass, and the grass just has a bit too much water on it or in it. But it may also be due to because actually I've actually got probably a few more right there too. But it may have to do with the protein content of the grass. The protein of the grass may be too high. But the cattle are looking good. Like this guy, he's starting to thicken up real good. Animals in general are just starting to thicken up pretty good. I saw this guy bloating yesterday again. This is my little bloating Brangus. That's what I'm gonna call him. He bloats all the time. Oh, is that him? I got two Brangus animals, and one of them bloats real bad pretty frequently. But yup, I've been looking at real estate. I got about 10 properties around me within about 20 minutes. And these properties, they're between 10 to 20 acres. And they're on market for about 12 to 15,000 an acre. A loan for $150,000 right now is going to cost about $775 a month on an agricultural property with a good credit score. I think an interest rate of like 5.5% or something like that. It's going to be about $775 a month if I took a $150,000 loan. And so well, I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, if I got a field 20 minutes away, and let's say well, for a 20-acre field, I can usually get a little bit of a better price per acre. So on a 20-acre field, maybe I'd be paying $10,000 an acre, 10 to 12,000 an acre. And so right now, I was looking at these different properties, and I was like, he got some mud butt too, and he's not even eating his breakfast. But I was taking a look at these different properties, and I was like, you know what? If I went into the bank right now and I had a conversation with the banker, I could get them to give me $150,000. I'm 100%. 100%. If I walked into the bank right now and I asked them for a loan for $150,000, they would let me have it. $150,000 would be about $775 a month, and probably about $250 of that would be going into the equity on the property. So I'd be losing well, and then the $500 that's left over on that $750, if I got $250 going towards equity and I had to pay $750 total, that means I'd have about $500 left over on that payment. And the $500 left over on that payment would be going into like interest. And the interest on the loan, I would believe, is tax deductible as well. And so if I'm having a problem with my taxes this year, if my taxes are too high, I would be able to tax deduct that the interest on the loan, and if I calculated that at about 25 to 35%, about about $150 of it would also be tax considered, I guess, tax deductible or tax deducted. And so I'd really be losing about $350 a month to buy a 10-acre field for 150 grand. And so I was looking at it and I was like, well, my thing right now is that I don't really want a whole bunch of 10-acre fields, because if I have a 10-acre field here and then I have a 10-acre field there and then I have a 10-acre field over there, I'll have to just constantly, I'll have to be going around. I would rather have one 50-acre field than one 10-acre field. But the thing is, if I want to buy a 50-acre field close to Dallas, it's going to be a lot more expensive than if I were to go buy a 50-acre field out in the boonies. Like if I was willing to go an hour or two away, and I bought a 50-acre field out there, I could buy a 50-acre field for about $1,000 a month, about $1,200 a month. But if I was going to buy a 50-acre field here close to Dallas, I'd be paying about double that. I'd be paying about $2,300 a month. And this is raw land. This is an agricultural field. This ain't like a residential or commercial properties or anything like that. And so, well, I would rather buy one 50-acre field. But if it came down to it, and but here's the thing, if I was gonna buy a 50-acre field, it would just take me so long. It would be a horrendously miserable experience for me to save up enough money for me to if I was just gonna flat out go from today to buying a 50-acre field, it would take me a drastic amount of time. But if instead I bought a 20-acre field, if I collateralized this property for a loan and got myself a 20-acre field, I could run a hay operation on that 20-acre field, take the money from the hay operation, put it into the equity on the property, then I could collateralize both of my properties for that 50-acre field, instead of having to go from I'm here to making enough money to straight out buy a 50-acre field close to Dallas. And so my big plan was, well, if I got a 20-acre field and I have this field and it's a 20-minute drive away, I could ask my accountant. Well, I'm going to ask my accountant, if I bought a 250, if I bought an F250, would he let me tax deduct it? If he let me tax deduct it, then I could buy myself a 250 Super Duty diesel, and I could just write it off of my taxes, and that would take care of about half of my taxes right there this year. And then the other half of my taxes I could deduct by bringing in another herd of animals. And then I could load my tractor, or any tractor that I needed, up on my 250, and I could drive it 20 minutes away to go work my field. And here's the thing about hay. This animal's really thickening up right here. But the thing about hay is that I don't have to be on the field constantly for me to grow hay properly. I could go onto a field, I can work the field, I can plow it, I can fertilize it, I can seed it, then come back. That'd take me about a day. 20 acres wouldn't even take me a day. And then I can come back and then just go and drive by it every once in a while. And I don't really have to be there to cut it. And so these cattle, I gotta take a good look at them every day to make sure everybody's doing okay. I gotta make sure everybody's fed and stuff like that. So cattle, I gotta be around every day, but hay, I don't have to be around every day. And so if I went and bought a hay field, it would give me an opportunity to create another pool of equity, and it would also give me cash flow, enough cash flow potentially to even cover the entirety of the debt service. And so, well, is it optimal? It'll kind of be a pain in the side, but in all honesty, if I was going to go from this field to buying a 50-acre field here close to Dallas, it would take me that would be worse than a pain in the side. It would be a horrendous experience to try and save up that much money. It would be horrible. It would take me years to do that. I mean, maybe even a decade to do that. And I was like, you know what if I just went into the bank like this year, or maybe early next year? I got to get my paperwork looking good, because I still got to liquidate these animals, and I still got to I'm gonna take the excess capital that I have, and I'm gonna pay off all my debts. Not all my debts, I'm still gonna have my mortgage, but once I pay off my debts, my paperwork will look real good, and that's when I'm gonna walk into the bank to ask for money. Whatever money I'm gonna ask for, that's when I'm gonna ask for. And so, yeah, but I could potentially, well, I know that if I walked into a bank today, I could get a loan for $150. I could get that loan zero problem, and I would just kind of have to figure out how I'm gonna make the $700 a month payment. That would be the big thing. And the big idea of the $700 a month payment is, if I got a 10-acre field, 11-acre field or so, and I owed $700 on it, if I could grow enough hay on it to make the $700 payment, I'd practically have that field, just the field would pay for itself. But if I think if I just get my paperwork looking real good, and I get my paperwork squared away, I think that I could even ask for $250,000. If I really talk to that banker, if I really talk to a banker, I think I could get myself $250,000. If I can get myself $250,000, I can buy myself 20 acres. But $250,000, that's gonna be like $1,000 a month. And so, I mean, but from that $1,000 a month, about $350 of it would be equity retainment in the loan, in the property. And so I'd be owing about $650, and then if I owed about a third of that in taxes, I'd actually be losing about $400 a month. And the big question then becomes, can I make $400 a month on 20 acres growing hay? And then that I mean, me probably, I would say I probably could. I'm pretty good at this, and so I would say I probably could make four. I mean, if I were to bet, I ain't a betting man, but if I were to bet, I would say yes, I would. Me personally, yes, I could make $400 a month on 20 acres. And so, but I believe that I could do it. And so, but if I could get but the thing is, if I'm gonna do that, I need a big truck. I need a 2-ton truck. And so I'm gonna ask my accountant, hey, if I bought an F-250, if I paid off my truck and I traded it in for an F-250, would you let me write it, or could I write it off on my taxes, because I need it for my farm? I need it so that I can haul tractors around, and I can even haul cattle on a gooseneck if I have a 250. I could haul a lot of cattle on a gooseneck with a 250. And if he says yes, you know, I'd owe about $500 a month for that 250 too. Like $400 or $500 a month for a brand new 250. And so, yep. But that's the big idea. I don't really want to get myself another 20-acre field, but if I was going to get myself a 50-acre field, that would be a horrible experience. It would just take me way too long to save up that much capital, and to have enough to go and buy that 50-acre field. So I'm like, you know what? If it meant that I could get myself another investment property here, and I could cash flow enough on it to pay for the property itself, I would be willing to do it. But I would need a 250 truck. But all right, that's it for me today, YouTube. Y'all have a good one.